Hello, everyone. Thank you for joining us today. My name is Kufre Ian. To wherever you're joining us from today, I'm really glad you're here. This is a beginner friendly session, so you don't worry if you never heard some of these terms before. By the end of this short talk, be like a 10 minutes or less, you have a clear understanding of one of the most important concepts of Microsoft 365. That's the word, the tenant. I'd like to start this with a little story. Let's roll back the clock a bit. Just years ago, if you wanted to use Microsoft Office, you had to buy it on a CD. Some of you may remember Office 2003, 2007, 2010. You buy the CD, you install it on your computer, and then that was it. You owned that version. But things changed. Microsoft decided to move away from CD and make Office available through the cloud. That's where M365, that's a short word for Microsoft 365, comes in. So instead of buying once, companies now subscribe. The benefits is enormous. You'll always get the latest updates. You can log in from anywhere, your laptop, your tablet, or even your phone. You you can use any of these applications at any point, and the most important is that you can work together in real time. That is to say, if I have a friend here in Nigeria, I have one in the United States, and I have another one in maybe Russia, we can all work together. Bottom line is that we want to achieve one goal. Now, let me ask this question. This screen you're seeing here is the screen of Microsoft 2003. This is what we usually used to know before now. So if I may ask this question, what is a tenant? That is the real thing that brought us here today. So that's that big question. I want you to think of Microsoft 365 like a massive apartment building. When a company subscribes, they get their own private apartment inside that building. That apartment is called the tenant. So inside the apartment, the company has its users, that's the employees. It has their files, it has their emails, it has the applications like the Outlook, the Teams, the OneDrive. We'll be looking at each of these extensively, but I want us to understand basically what that word tenant is. It also has their security. And the best part, the tenant is private. Just like getting a house, you have your door, you have your key. It's your own private house, and nobody can just access it without that key and your door. So the tenant is private. So no company can just wake up and pick inside your tenant. It's your organization's secure space. That is what I'm talking about. Now, let's see this in action. Let's make it real. When you log into your browser, you type portal.office.com. You're entering your company's tenants. Everything you see there, your applications, your files, your email belongs to your organization. Now, if you're an admin person, you go one step further. You can log into admin.microsoft.com as the admin person, which is the screen you're seeing here. This is the admin center. Here's where you'll see your tenant name, your users, and all your settings. From this dashboard, you can add or remove people. You can assign licenses for applications. You can control security policies and basically manage the entire digital space for your company. Now let's do a little quick recap. Let's see the real thing in practice. Let's do a little recap. So far, in summarizing what I've said, I told us that Microsoft have moved from the CD to the cloud. That's how we got the Microsoft 365. I've also told us that a tenant is your company's private space inside Microsoft 365. I've also said too that everything, users, applications, emails, files, and security lives inside that tenant. That's the foundation you need before we dive deeper into Microsoft 365 services. So let's make this a bit interactive. So now that you know what a tenant is, I want to hear from you. If you had access to your company's tenants, what's that very first application you'd want to explore? Would it be Outlook for email? Would it be Teams for collaboration? Would it be OneDrive for storing and for file sharing? I need you to drop your choice in the comment section. Let's see which one really excites you. I want to thank you for joining me today. I hope this session has given you a simple but solid understanding of what Microsoft 365 Tenant is. Please stick around. In future sessions, I've made and broken them into parts. We'll dive deep into the applications and services that make Microsoft 365 so very, very powerful. My name is Kufre Iyan, and I'm glad to have you here today. Thank you so much.